parents, today we are going to talk about one of the most important topic which you will be all liking to know, the 3 effective ways to help your child deal with a tantrum. Nowadays there are so many questions being posted by the parents that how do I deal with my child when he is throwing the tantrum. That is at the moment when the child is throwing, yelling, screaming, shouting on top of the voice. The parents really lose their temper or lose their balance, and they are not able to know what has to be done at that point of time. And when that imbalance causes, then the parents also become highly angry, and the cycle of doing the tantrum from the child's end keeps on repeating and repeating. And they keep telling me that, ma'am, whatever my child wants, he does a lot of he does a lot of tantrum and being so adamant and get things done from me. It becomes very difficult over a period of time. But as the children keep on growing with the tantrum, okay, and they are getting everything done with the adamancy, it is not going to be like getting automatically subsided by anything else. It's we who have to interfere and help the child. So what are the 3 effective ways wherein which we can help the child overcome this tantrumatic nature? So what can be done? So let's see, when a child is throwing tantrum, it can be done either at home or in public. So when they are at home, when you're there within the family members, that's a different thing. When the guests come home and then they do a tantrum, or when you're going out, going to a hotel, going to a park, going to a theater, or going to any other places where you're going to a mall or a shop, the child is trying to throw a tantrum. So in all of these cases, let me just first tell you, the children below 5 to 4 years, they are much younger children. When they store such kind of tantrums, either when they are at home or among the guests, or when they are going outside and throwing a tantrum, the first effective way which you can help them is by distracting them. So distraction is the best way to help the younger children. Younger children can easily be distracted from what they want to an highly engaging other things which you might think that they will not listen to it, but try it. Okay, how do you try it? When a child is crying at home, shouting on top of a void, immediately you can say, hey, someone is ringing the bell. I don't know who is coming up. Let's come check it out. Oh, I heard a little big voice. Come, let's see in the balcony what happened. Hey, I thought I will give you a surprise. It's there inside the room. Come. So in that way, you can try diverting the child. Put it into something like little bit curious about it or surprised about it, and you can try it. And what else you can do is divert them with some water-based activity or color-based activity, which effectively again controls the high energetic tantrums which they throw. Diversion is the best way to control the effective children who are like very less age group. Even when you're going outside and then they throw a tantrum, like they want these toys, or they are sitting in a hotel and they are really throwing a tantrum, immediately you can divert them by saying, hey, papa is leaving the shop and I cannot buy the toys for you, and immediately carry them and just walk away from that place. So this helps you to really handle the situation at that moment. But this cannot be the case when it comes to the elderly children. They are not very easy to handle. They have more understanding capability. They have more ideas to get things done from you. So what do you do in that case? Mostly I see the parents, when the children throw tantrum, again the tantrum comes from the parents' side. They again give a lot of reactive nature and they become angry on top of the children, and then both the side there is a tantrum, and it becomes an uncontrolled situation after a while. So what is the best way if your children is little elder and still they throw a tantrum, and how can you manage them? The answer is silence. So what you're actually doing is, when I say silence, the parents are trying to silence the child, or you're trying to make the child silent from the moment of tantrum. No, you will not see the silence or try to bring the silence from the other side. The silence has to be from here, okay, from your side. How is that possible, ma'am? When he is throwing tantrum, I'm losing my temper. See, when they throw tantrum, they are already in angry mode. And then again, you're going to retaliate or respond to that with more angriness. You're only trying to suppress or trying to burst out the situation. You're not trying to help the situation. or you're not even trying to help the child also. In both the ways, when you're going to do this, anger is a way to respond to the child. Repeatedly, it keeps on happening again and again. Ultimately, child wins over your anger, because there will be someone in the crowd or someone in your family say, he's just a child. Why are you really shouting at him? Give him what he wants. So again, you will lose it. And children, they're very intelligent. They won't do the tantrum when they are alone. When they are having people around, like the elders in the family, guests in the family, or when you go out, there are a lot of people in the crowd, they very well know that whether the other people will be there, and when they throw a tantrum, they get more support from the other people. So that is the reason that they start doing it. So what do? Again, for these children, you have to be silent, and you have to make sure that you cut the connection or support from the other members by taking them away from that place. Which for the elderly children, the parents may find it difficult, but this may be one of the options that you can try, because they are throwing tantrum because the other members who are there in the crowd or in the family are going to support them, and they can utilize them. So what you have to do with them is now cutting the supportive tool system that they have. But before doing that, you have to first go in silence. Only when you are balanced, you will be able to do that. When you are not in your own balance, you will not be able to execute that with your child. So what you will be doing is, first you observe the child, make an eye contact, and just make a smile. Making sure you convey them that you are not going to give in the reaction which the child expected from you. The child is expecting you to become angry, but don't yield in by becoming an angry, because when you become angry, they win over you. So what you will do is become little more aware at that point of time. Instead of losing the anger, just make sure that you smile at them and just observe them. After 2-3 minutes, if they don't stop it, don't give importance. Just take away your face and don't look at them. Okay? After 2-3 minutes, they will know that you're not becoming angry. They will know that you're not really responding to them. You have become silent, and that will not work. This has practically happened in my own school, wherein which one child who came from home, I don't know what was the issue at home, the child was throwing sound on top of the voice while entering the school itself. He was throwing a tantrum. We couldn't do anything, but in front of the other children, he was making even more problematic. So I myself took the child, come on, let's go sit inside a room. We locked the room, and I just patted him saying, you can cry as much as you want, or you can scream as much as you want. After that, what I did is, I slowly asked the child, you can do if you can take the material. He started throwing the material. I said, no throwing the material. You are allowed to do things what you want. So at that time, when the child is really, really screaming, you can ask the child to do some play, but the child may throw the activity. But you have to say that, no, stop throwing it. I cannot allow that to happen. Take that material away from the child. Now again, the child will be throwing, but at that point of time, make an observation, be in silence, take away your eye contact, and don't give them the importance to that emotion. It will subside. The tantrum which went up and up and up and up and up, and it came down. Okay, it came down. So you have to give that time. It doesn't take more than 5 minutes, but we are not ready to wait for that. But be ready for it by being in silence, wherein which you just observe, cut the eye contact, and try to make them away from the crowd where they tend to take a support. This is the second effective way. The third effective way with which you can help a tantrumatic child is by not handling the child at the time of tantrum, but prevention is better than cure, as we heard, by preparing the mind beforehand itself. You know that your child might throw tantrum when guests come, or when they go to these places, or when they see a toy shop, or when they see anything in the mall. Okay, so when you know this pattern of your child, what you will be doing, even before you step out of the house, okay, even before you step out of the house, what you can do is, you can prepare your child's mind by saying, I know whenever we go out, you ask for toys, or you ask for something which you want, and you cry on top of the voice in front of the others. But this time, even if you're going to do, you're not going to get things done from me. But if you're going to maintain your silence and ask me, Mama, I want this, I want that, I'll see that whether it's going to help you, and I'll get it for you. Make sure I'm very clear that if you're going to throw the tantrum, you will not get anything. But if you're maintaining your silence, I will try to at least bring you what you really want. So what are you doing is, even before the mind is ready to throw the tantrum, you have put the seed of not to throw tantrum, otherwise you will not get things done what you want. Okay, so in that way, preparing the mind helps a lot. So even before the guests are coming home, or at the moment when the guest has come down, take the child inside a room. If you're going to throw tantrum in front of them, then things which you have asked, I may not be able to give you. So when you're going to step out, when the child is putting his shoes, or child is like dressing themselves, you are going to dress themselves, tell them these things, so that you prepare the mind and body and emotion in the prior hand before they throw any tantrum. So what are the three effective ways? First effective way is distraction. Okay. Second effective way is being in silence, not the child, you becoming silent and handling the situation. Third is about preparing the mind in beforehand so that they don't throw tantrums. So if you are able to practice this, let me know in the comment box how effective was these tips. Next video will be more on talking in terms of learning tantrums. So wait for it, and if you like this video and if you find it will help someone, click on the like button and share it with your friends. Thank you.